So we're excited to share with you the latest update from CloudOlive for January 2025. The initial update we're going to go through is very specific to those who run the Autotask PSA. One of the main updates that have come in this release is a full API pushback now at a vendor level. So by editing the vendor as I've done now and just selecting enable pushback, what you will now see is for any of the discrepancies that we're looking at, historically, this would just redirect you back into Autotask, which that still has the same ability and capability. But for now, we can very simply do pushback, and that will instantaneously update Autotask. So with the effective date down here, it's going to default to the start of the billing cycle for the month. So essentially help you bill for the entire month. You are more than welcome to pick any other date if you would like to then actually have it cause a prorate. So a lot of the contracts just start on the first of the month, so it's going to default. But if your contract started on the 18th of the month, then the system's smart enough to set the effective date for that time. Same over here from a pushback perspective for vendor unit cost. So if we notice here that the vendor you're saying is $2, inside of Autotask at the service level it's $1, then from here we can update the buy price. It's going to say, hey, the vendor's saying it's this now, you've got it as that. And the other thing that we can do is if you've got a set margin that you make at the vendor level, so let's say we make 30%, and keep it simple, 50%. It's going to now come back and go, okay, the cost is this. Yes, I want to update it. We're now going to automatically suggest the intended sell price, and you can actually update both of them in the same motion. The little slider goes across, and then upon the next sync, all of this will just clean up, and there'll be nothing else to actually look at. So, for those who run ConnectWise, this has obviously been there for quite some time, but we're now stepping it up and balancing it with Autotask and ConnectWise have exactly the same capability now. One of the other important aspects that's getting rolled out in this release is the ability to actually pause a reconciliation from updating in the future. So one of the common bits of feedback we were receiving is we reconciled the vendor early on in the month, but changes come in during the month, and if we ever go back into CloudOlive to review, then the quantities within ConnectWise in particular have now evolved and changed, and it's showing discrepancies and we're not sure where to go. Okay, so what this release now does is if you move something to reconciled or approved, to us that means that you and the team have gone through the process, you're happy with this reconciliation now, and it's not CloudOlive's place to update anything else in the future for that reconciliation. So if you now move this to a reconciled status, any new changes that occur within your PSA will not automatically update within here. So the great thing about this is you can now come back at any point in time and see true representation of what happened within that month and within that reporting period, rather than updating just in real time from the various different PSAs. So they're two of the main areas that we've updated within the reconciliation module. Moving over now into the vendors tab, which holds our NCEasy integration with Microsoft Partner Center. So for those who are leveraging this now, the whole goal of this was to help solve NCE-related reporting and renewal challenges. And I think a lot of our partners who were pretty early on in the NCEasy or NCE rollout, that sort of February, March of each year is when a lot of the renewals come around. So if you've got this set up, great. If you haven't yet, please sync this up. There's tons of available data and information that's going to help you with renewals, including who's assigned to what license type and who is not. So the update here that we're going to be bringing out, Additional information here for why we cannot see the services from within Microsoft. Okay, so a lot of this would be down to the Entra roles when related to GDAP, but there's about 8 different errors that can come back. It's going to list these out here so you can dial into it pretty quickly. Likewise here, the volume of accounts that have come across, and then the number of contracts, which is essentially all of the services listed down here. How many have we received as CloudOlive? And they're all going to be displayed down here if we've got access to it. So a couple of things that we've added into this release are a pass until concept. Okay, so it may well be that a month out from this renewal or a specific time frame out, you want to be alerted of the fact that I need to review this closer to the date, potentially of expiration, or some other metric or time in the future that you want to look at. So by adding in any of the dates here, you can see some blue and amber. Amber is essentially we've passed that time frame now. So if I sort or filtered just by that, these are the line items which are now in the rearview mirror from a pass until date. And we made it very easy here to be able to sort on it quite quickly as well for any dates that actually have something in the pass until. The ability also to leave a comment, like in every other aspect of CloudOlive. If you leave a comment, you can search for that comment, and the comment will will retain itself against this line item indefinitely until you sort of delete it if need be. If you want to ignore a subscription altogether, you can do so here. Again, similar user experience to the other modules. It's just going to now live behind here, and you can bring that back if you so choose to. And then over here in the action column, so again, similar to the other modules, with an edit now, you can come in behind the actual line item. And this release, we've broken it down. So the vendor reference here is the subscription ID directly coming from Microsoft. So it's essentially like the most granular layer within understanding a specific subscription. And then you can see here all of the other data that we're pulling through from Microsoft. If I come down to perhaps a service here with loads of assigned and a couple of unassigned. So the other thing that happens now is we've got 10 users that we've got assigned effectively, or we've got 10 licenses committing for a year up until a specific date in the future. And here are the 10 different users associated with it. So there's so if you ever wanted to exclude a user, so as an example, we got 10, but we really should only be billing for 9. At an individual user level that it's been assigned to, you can now remove them from the list. So when I submit that now and come down and have a look at it, it's got 1 unassigned. So in the previous release, if you recall, of NCEasy, where we added the ability to export out, it's very easy for us to then go 10 minus 1 equals 9. 9 is the number that we should be billing for either this service or other user base services that are going through your Autotask or ConnectWise. Okay, so far more granularity. And this is naturally, just to give you an idea, in the future, this will be where we will be able to pair this back to your Autotask or ConnectWise services and products. And then very soon, just being able to update that in real time and completely hands off. Or, of course, you just want to sanity check and verify that maybe another integration from a distributor is all lined up and reflective in real time. The other thing that we've done across the board here, any of the tabs here, essentially everything now will be sorting by just being standardized completely here across the vendor end username A to Z, just for consistency. And this goes for all aspects of it, all parts of the system. We're going to be looking at this. So coming into the MRR Insights now, this is really the last module to have its own export capability. So within this release now, you'll be able to, it'll essentially send you an email with a link that's available and accessible for 24 hours. And then that will come down and export directly into an Excel. And then last but not least, just the ability here from this tab to be able to add new team members into CloudOlive. Historically, it was through the enterprise into the members tab. We're just making it a little bit easier, but you can still access it from both sides. So load of other improvements in terms of speed and the pushback and the syncs and et cetera that always get rolled in. But they're the key elements that we hope you enjoy, and we look forward to bringing you more releases over the next in February and March. All the best, and just get in touch with support@cloudolive.com if you would like to have any additional training or support in these features and or any others in getting up to speed and generating as much value as you possibly can through working with us here at CloudOlive. Many thanks.